today I have this Jeep Liberty that I'm going to be cleaning, and as you can see, there's not a singular cloud in the sky, and the sun is about to come over and hit it. It's already hitting the hood and the roof now, but it's not hitting the sides because it's directly over it. Like, the car's here, sun's here. So I wanted to make kind of a shorter video running through what I do quickly, so you guys can just watch this and then just put it to your own use. The first thing that I actually do before I even start washing it is obviously make sure that you can find a place where you can put it in the shade. If you can't, you can't, and you got to deal with it. But if you can, try to. And then the second option is you can get a canopy. I mean, you can get a massive canopy to cover an SUV like this, or if you're going to be working on like a sedan or a coupe, you can probably work with a 10x10 just to keep the sun off of it. But this video is for worst case scenario. If you have a car like this, there's no shade and I have no other option besides cleaning it there. I'm gonna run through the steps while I'm doing them through this video, make it quick, and then end it off there. All right, so before you even touch this vehicle with soap, water, or anything, you need to prep your entire setup to make sure you can do this as fast as possible. So you need to think of your entire setup. So like I said earlier, I already hit the wheels, so they're clean. And then I put these like line stop or whatever they're called. I put these things on the wheels just in case if it gets caught, I don't have to deal with it and let that soap or water sit on the paint. Next thing I did, open the gas cap, make sure you open that's clean inside. You don't want to have to like deal with a vehicle that has it inside, foam the whole thing, want to clean it later, gotta go, whatever. Open that now. And then I have 2 buckets. You guys can do your own method, but this is what I do. 2 buckets, clean, dirty. I have a regular wash mitt and then a clay mitt in the clean one, and then the dirty one is literally just water. I have this little setup here, use this for the wheels. I have my drying towel out right now, so I don't have to pull it out of here, so I can just run over when the whole thing's done, grab my drying towel. And then I have bead maker set up because I'm going to use that as a drying aid, so I'll grab those 2 things, run over there, dry the whole vehicle. And then my foam cannon, which I'm actually just going to move over there because I'm going to use it. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw this thing over here, and then I'll kind of show you guys what I do. So now that everything's all set, I know I'm good. If you guys have any extra steps or do anything differently, do it that way. I know some of you guys use microfiber towels instead of this bucket method, which is fine. Whatever way you like, this is what I prefer. I'm not here to teach you like how to detail, I'm just showing you my process on how I clean black paint. Also, another thing, obviously make sure all the windows are up, kind of an obvious thing, just make sure, because that has happened to me before where they're up or they're down a very slim crack and then all the water goes through. Especially with it being nice now, you just need to make sure the windows are up. So do that, and then I'll go ahead and get started with the first step. I guess this is the first step, but I'm just gonna make sure that the windows are all the way up. They're crank. I legit haven't used crank in so long. Actually, I don't even need to start this thing. Wow, my first vehicle had crank. It's so crazy. So I'm just running through, making sure these things are all the way up. Yeah, so they were all down slightly. So you guys gotta make sure the windows are up because that's not something you wanna deal with when you're cleaning the paint. So now that that's all set, all right, so what I want you guys to do first is feel the paint and feel how hot it is. If you have soap sitting on this panel, it's going to dry up extremely quickly. So feel it, obviously feel how hot it is. What I do first, and this is only when I'm working on black vehicles in the sun, what I do first is spray it with water. I always go with the foam cannon first because it's going to pull all the dirt off and use it as a lubricant when you're using your wash mitt. All right, so what I'm gonna do first is spray the panel down with water until it gets cool. I'm gonna keep feeling it, making sure it's getting cool enough. So you can spray it and then kind of feel with the back of your hand, it's still warm. You want it to be cold, just to give you that little bit extra headspace so you don't have to freaking rush like crazy. This is gonna give you a little bit extra time. So I'll normally run through the whole thing and then hit the first thing again, hit the first panels that I hit originally again. All right, so I just finished spraying this whole thing down. The hood is already getting kind of hot again. Obviously, with what I was showing you with spraying the water, just use your other hand to feel it. So spray it down, feel it, keep spraying it until it gets cool. And I mean, I'm not talking like a specific temperature to get it to, but just get it so it's cold. You'll feel it, you'll be like, oh, that's cold, and then just move on. Just don't have it hot. So I'm not gonna say get it to 46.85 degrees and then you guys will be all set. No, just get it cool. So the next step, I'm going to be foaming it, and I'm going to foam it from the front to the sides to the back to the other side. I'm gonna hit it in steps instead of foaming the whole thing. It's gonna take longer, obviously, but what I'm gonna do is foam it, use a wash mitt on it, rinse it off, and then move on to the next. Foam it, wash mitt, rinse it off, and then I'll do the whole thing. And then after that, I'm gonna foam it, claim it, then wash it off. So it's gonna take a while because it's gonna be steps for each side, but it's because it's in the sun. It's what you have to do. It's what I do. Or it's not what you have to do. I'm not saying this is the exact way to clean a black vehicle. This is just what I do. If I'm wrong, if you guys need me to change anything, please leave it in the comments. But I'm gonna basically leave a time lapse up of me doing this so it makes a little more sense for you that have never done this before. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so I just finished up. I rinsed off the entire vehicle. Now there's no soap left on it. What I'm gonna do is dry it off now. Use Bead Maker as my drying aid. If you guys don't know what a drying aid is, it's basically a chemical you spray on the paint and then wipe it off to dry. It just helps dry it. It puts a lubricant between the towel and the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the whole car now. All right, guys, so I finished up the outside. It's a freaking mess out here now, but this is how it looks. This is how it came out. I'm gonna be honest, I hit this guy, the bumper, and this fender with some polish, nothing crazy. I tried to get the headlights pretty good too because this one was faded. It's still, I mean, you can see it's a lot better. These two were also faded and I fixed those. But yeah, I mean, obviously this looks really good because I just polished it, but it really wasn't bad. This is where we're at. I didn't touch any of this with any polish. I only cleaned it up. Same with the roof. I did not polish anything else. So as you can see, not many watermarks. There are, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it at all, but there's just some scuffs in the paint because it hasn't been taken care of a lot. I mean, I could run through this thing. That's what was going on with the hood. That's why I touched up the hood, because all those like little scuffs were in the paint. As you can see, there's just like a bunch of those. They're not watermarks from what I just did. It's just like from sap sitting on the car, birds like going on the car and stuff. It's from, I mean, this thing is pretty old, so it's just from a lot of wear and tear and that kind of things. Like when you park under a tree, that removes some of that paint, like this stuff. That's what that is in the paint. There's gonna be a bunch of watermarks on the glass, but I don't clean the glass until the end. And the glass honestly is the biggest pain out of everything. It's not even the black paint that's the worst part about the sun. It's the glass. So if you guys want me to cover the glass and everything, I can do that, but I'm still researching on how to get glass like perfectly clear, and it's pretty difficult. I've tried a lot of products, but I'm waiting to make a video on the glass to like get it just right. But yeah, I mean, that's really it. There's a bunch of pollen already on it. I did get this done like an hour ago, but I took a break, I took lunch, and then I decided to do the hood and everything and do the polish because I was feeling nice. It didn't come out the way that I wanted it to, and I'm not just gonna leave it there. This is an expensive detail for them, so that's just something you gotta do. I'm not obviously upcharging them. I'm just making it look the way that I would want it to look when I show up. So remember that. If you guys feel like you got to do something to the car and they don't want to pay for it, or you don't want to ask, sometimes just do it because it can be expensive. It also can help bring people back. That's gonna kind of do it for this video. Like I said, I'm trying to keep it short and sweet for this one so you can just hop on YouTube, watch it quick, and then head out. It was pretty easy. I mean, the only things that you could change from the process that I do, which is kind of a little bit unnecessary, but you don't have to foam it, rinse it, and then, or you don't have to foam it, use a wash mitt, rinse it, foam it, claim it, rinse it. You can just foam it, wash mitt, foam it, clay it, rinse it, if that makes sense. So you can do it a different way, and you can also perfect it in your own way. You can also do the microfiber method where you put the microfibers in a bucket, let them get all soapy, and then rub them on the car and do it that way. That's gonna be it for the video. If you guys do it a different way, please leave it in the comment section down below so other people can read it and perfect their own techniques. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it.